So the first hack that we're going... Why?
I take my pills and I'm happy all the time. I'm happy all the time. I'm happy all the time.
Hey guys, Donutmuncher here, and in today's video, yeah, I know, it's been a while, I'm sorry for that. So I did a poll on YouTube, and you guys wanted me to do an LPS hack / DIY video, so yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Also, I want to apologize for my absence. It's kind of been hard for me lately to make videos, so hopefully I should get to making some this week. Thank you so much for almost 1.3k. Oh my gosh, it's like, ugh, it's so crazy to see you guys showing all of your support, so thank you so much. So the first hack that we're going to be doing is how to make LPS tables and stools and stuff. So let's get to the supplies. So the first thing that you're going to need are some caps. So for people who don't know, I drink a lot of Dr. Peppers, so I have quite a surplus of these. But you can also find them in recycling bins, and you can ask around your family members to see if they have any. So you can even use Powerade ones. So these ones are also quite big as well. I think Gatorade ones also work. So yeah. So the next thing you're going to need are some different colors of paint. So I just have black and white here, but you can choose whatever colors you want. These are probably both my favorite brands because this black is very smooth, and this white is pretty smooth as well, so I recommend these for painting. So you're also going to need a paintbrush right here, and you're going to need something to put paint on. So you can choose the colors of these. I usually use the bigger caps for tables or side tables, and I use these caps for stools just because they're the perfect size and they fit any LPS on top of them. So the first thing that you're going to do is put paint where you want it and what color you want it. I should probably move my LPS, so don't paint around your LPS because you don't want to ruin them. So you're going to just choose the color that you want to pick. You just want to start painting. So don't like cake on the paint because you don't want it to be all cakey and gross and all that grossness. So kind of just light strokes, and you can see that some of the paint gets stuck on the side. So for that, all you have to do is just drag the paint down, so all the paint that gathers up on the sides you can use to paint on the sides. Now the stool should look something like this, so don't worry, you can do as many layers as you need, but yeah. So by the time you're done doing all of your coats, it should look something like this. You could always do another layer if you didn't like the way that it looked right here, but it is perfect for a vanity or for a seat for a table. You can also do that with these. So my LPS actually come in these boxes whenever I order them. So you can get those from there, or if you get jewelry that come in these boxes, that's fine too. So there's a bigger one and then there's a smaller one. So the smaller one is actually perfect size for a table. So you can paint it any kind of color that you want and use it for a dinner table or anything like that. Yes, I know that there are a lot of options for tables and stuff, but I know that a lot of people use tables for like LPS high schools. So this is actually a mint box, and if you take off the label, then it is a perfect little white table. I actually used this in my Malk video, and you can kind of see the tab at the end, but that's fine. So if you flip it over, it's all like sticky and stuff, so it's probably best if you use the bigger side that's on top, but it is always a great option for using as a lunch table. So this next DIY, the supplies you'll need are some wire cutters, slash pliers. So you can kind of like just go in your dad's garage, or if your brother has one, just steal it from them for a while, and then you can just use it. Any kind of paint you want. I'm going to use black for this, but you know, we can choose whatever color you want. And then you're going to need some earrings that you never use, or just, you know, one's missing or something. So I actually never use these, but they are like roses. So you don't want to cut the backs off of them yet, but you're going to turn them kind of into an LPS flower or a rose for their ear or something. You can attach them to either a rubber band and use them that way, or you can use tacky to keep them on. So yeah. And of course, you are also going to need a paintbrush and something to put paint in. So to make sure that you paint the entire thing, you're going to hold the earring back so that you can cover the entire thing. So you're going to take the color that you want to use and you're just going to paint it. Like I said, you don't want to do blobs because then it just won't look smooth and it won't look fully painted and it'll just look bad. So don't glob any paint on and just go at your own pace and take your time. By the time you're done, it should look something like this. So to cut off the earring back, you're going to take your wire cutters and you're just going to cut off as much as you can without damaging the actual earring. You're going to press as hard as you can, use all of your strength, and then you can even like wiggle it around if it won't come off still. So you can even cut from different angles, and then by the time you're done it should look something like this, hopefully. You can either try and cut it off more because you can see there's just a teeny tiny little stub right there. So you can either try and mash it down with your pliers, or you can try and cut it down even more than that. But it's also probably, if you can't get it down, then it's no big deal because if you use tacky, it's probably going to cover it. And if you use a rubber band, then I suggest gluing over this little stub right here instead of, or like right beside it or something. But I'm actually going to be using tacky. So if you're going to be using tacky, you don't really need that much, so maybe even less than this would probably work just because it's super sticky and it works super well. I'm going to stick it on the back and then stick it wherever you want on the LPS. Now normally people stick it on the ear, but you know, if you wanted it like over the eye or somewhere else, then that's perfectly fine too. And then voila, you have an LPS rose. Now it actually turned out super cute and even better than I thought it would be, and you can do any kind of color that you want. But yeah, I think it turned out super duper cute. So if you have a device, then you will most likely have one of these. You can also just buy them from the stores for pretty cheap, I think. But these are actually the scientific term is a microfiber cleaning cloth thingy, so they're super soft. And they work perfectly for blankets or rugs or anything like that. They come in like a bunch of colors. I think I have a white one of this and a couple others, so you can even ask around your family if they have one that they don't use. And it works perfectly on LPS beds and even on the ground as like a cute little rug. So this last DIY is going to be how to make LPS piercings. So I know a lot of people like piercings on their LPS, and if you don't have sticky diamonds, then this is probably the best bet for you. So for piercings, you can either do these little things. So you can buy these at the craft store, or you can get them from like keychains and all that kind of stuff. So they're pretty popular, and a lot of people use them for various things. But one thing that I want to say about these is that if you put them around the LPS's ear too, if you like press too hard, it'll make marks in their ear. It'll make marks like these, so do not press too hard. But if you want the piercings to stay in the ear like forever, then press as hard as you can in the ear. You can even glue it if you need to, like super glue or hot glue or something like that. So if you don't want your LPS marked and you just want the piercings in there, then I would suggest this kind of wire. So this kind of wire is pretty thin, but it can loop around pretty easily, though it won't stay as much as these ones probably will. But if you don't want these hoop ones, then you can use these right here. And they're just little teeny tiny black beads. And you can find these basically anywhere. You can either use tacky or hot glue to put them on. So if you put the beads on an LPS, it'll look like this. So I actually put some on Sam right here, and she has some pretty cute ones on both sides of her ear. So you either hot glue them. So these ones are hot glued, so they're stuck on there pretty well. And you can use tacky if you want them to come off easier. And yes, hot glue does come off of LPS. I just wouldn't have the hot glue too hot because you don't want to like melt the plastic or anything. Though it's probably not that easy to melt an LPS. It does come off. I did these piercings on Sean and they turned out really, really cute. I actually painted them black so you can see them on his ears, and I pressed super hard on these because I wanted them to stay on his ears, but they did actually turn out really cute. So basically what you're gonna want to do for these is that you're going to take your pliers and you're going to slide the little hoop thingy through here, and then you're going to pull apart as far as you can. And you don't want to do it too much. You just want to do it just enough where it fits around the LPS's ear. And if that's not enough space, then you can always open it up as much as you want. And then you're going to put it around the LPS's ear and then press down. So remember, you can use these if you don't mind getting marks on the LPS. But if you do mind getting marks on them and you don't want it chipped, then yes, I do suggest using this. Or another type of wire that is not going to make that many marks. So this LPS, I don't really mind if there's marks on the ears, and then again, you could always just paint the LPS's ears. But yeah, so here's what it looks like after they're done, and you can even move it down if you wanted the earrings down, or if you wanted them up like that. You could probably even move them, if you opened up this wider, then you could probably even move them further in the ear. So after you're done, it should look something a little along the lines of this, and I think they actually look pretty cool, especially if it's on like an LPS with black fur, because it'll look, you know, kind of emo, as people like to call it. But she does look super cute, and yeah. One thing I do want to say is please be careful with pliers, because I don't want anyone pinching themselves and then me getting calls from parents. Plier, you're going to cut off just a small piece, and it's probably even best if it's smaller than the piece that I have in my hand. So what you're going to do for this is twist it around in like a circular shape or something like that. So you can always just twist as much as you need, and it's okay if it's still like you want it to be open like that. It should look something like this, but for these I suggest hot glue just because they don't really stick on the LPS like these ones do, because these ones won't make marks in the LPS, and because it's more thin wire, then it's probably best if you use hot glue and then you glue it where you want it in the LPS's ear. Thank you, Donut Hole, so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Make sure to comment down below what your favorite DIY was, and if you did any of them. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I love all of you. Stay sugary, and goodbye.
Often I'm upset that I cannot fall in love, but I guess it's the voice, the stress of falling out of bed.